bitches go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. De La Hoya proposes Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia this year. Promoter versus promoter. De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions versus Mayweather Promotions. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. There's a lot of great shows on there, like 30 for 30. You got Top Rank Boxing, you got UFC, and UFC pay-per-view. And I haven't. You can also get the ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu bundle. All three services on your phone, tablet, mobile device for $12.99 a month for all three. I have all three too. So use my link. It helps the channel. And let's get into it. Gervonta Tank Davis verified page. He's responding to Oscar De La Hoya. Now, I'm not going to play De La Hoya's actual whole interview. You know, actually, maybe we could do the sound.
Look, I mean, Ryan, I believe, is ready for a world title this year. And I have something to say. So, Floyd Mayweather is Tank's promoter.
He is?
He is.
Or the young one?
The young one.
Oh, okay.
You know, he has his people behind him who's doing all the work, obviously. But so Floyd Mayweather's his promoter, and so the fact that if Floyd didn't give me the rematch, let's get it on. Hey, let's get it on. You have your fighter Tank. I have my fighter Ryan Garcia. Let's make this fight happen. If Ryan wins, during Valentine's on the 14th, this Friday. If he wins, then let's stage a fight, man. Look, promoter versus promoter, fighter versus fighter, Mayweather Promotions versus Golden Boy Promotions. It'll be a huge fight. Look, I mean, Ryan, I believe.
So you heard it from De La Hoya. He was on AM 570 LA Sports. De La Hoya issues a challenge to Floyd Mayweather. You have your fighter Gervonta Davis, and I have my fighter King Ryan. Let's make this fight happen. If Ryan wins on the 14th on his fight with actually a guy Tank stopped on the Mayweather McGregor card, Francisco Fonseca, he said, let's stage a fight. So Tank seen it. He responded. He said, okay, let's do this. I'm going to be super rich this year. And that's it. And then he posted a smiley face. Look, somebody said Gervonta Davis caught on camera abusing his baby mama. You know, they trolling him and shit. Listen, my thoughts are simple. Hold on. I think Tank said a couple things. He said, let's do it. Ryan Garcia also responded to. Someone said he hasn't earned the shot yet, bruh. And Tank said he really didn't. He hasn't done shit in this sport yet. And then Ryan Garcia responded. He said, what the fuck have you done as well? But be given belts fighting shit opponents. If that's what it is, we should all be champs. And then someone cheerleading, you tell him champ. With a Mexican flag and an American flag. You tell him champ. It's funny. The boxing fans are funny. You know, people are looking at it and enjoying. So, I think Ryan Garcia said something else too. He liked the tweet from De La Hoya, or retweeted it. Oh, he said it's on now. Ryan Garcia said it's on now because Tank said let's do it. Listen, my thoughts, I told you, I'm not with all the cloud chasing. If they can make the fight happen, then let's see it happen. But I don't see it happening. And, you know, as much as Ryan Garcia and Tank may want to fight, what network is it going to be on? You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not in control of this. you know, because if it was up to me, we would have been seeing a lot of fights like Wilder versus Joshua. We would have seen Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, or maybe Crawford, you know, if there's no politics involved, and you know, we could just pick and choose fights we want to see. I would have seen Dillian White, Luis Ortiz, Joshua, Luis Ortiz, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really, this is not me. If they can make Ryan Garcia Tank, it'll be a big fight. Let's see it. But it's just, to me, it sounds like clout chasing, just because Garcia is about to fight this week. I haven't heard too much buzz from it. And, you know, the week of the promotion, the hottest dude in the division, you know, from 135 to 140 or 130 or whatever, you know, because I think Tank said he can still make 130. So the hottest guy, the biggest star is Tank Davis. You know, nobody's done sold out Baltimore 16 plus, sold out the Atlanta Hawks venue. You know, I was at those last 2 Tank fights. He's aligned with the Mayweather brand. You know, he's just youngest in charge. And, you know, I just, bottom line, I don't see the fight happening next. I think this is just promotion for Ryan Garcia to fight Fonseca. And, like, first of all, you got to look at what De La Hoya said. He said, come on, let's make the fight. So I'm seeing on DAZN a lot of clout chasing, a lot of like, let's make the fight, but the fights never are happening, you know. And, you know, De La Hoya, the whole time Canelo was getting drilled about not fighting Charlo, being the franchise champion, De La Hoya didn't say anything. And then a year plus later, he comes out for Ryan Garcia's media day and says, we sent Charlo a massive offer, and I don't know who declined it, but someone declined it. You know, so now the train has left. So I don't trust that type of behavior. Beyond that, Tank got the video, the viral video, so that could potentially go to a legal matter with that girl. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. That's none of my business, but he, you know, whatever happens, the next step of that viral video, he's gonna have to face the music and handle that. But as far as the square circle, the rumor is he's gonna fight Leo Santa Cruz, and that's not a give me fight. Leo Santa Cruz can scrap. He only lost to Carl Frampton, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, before we jump the guns and talk about Tank and Ryan Garcia, who are aligned with 2 different networks and 2 different promotional entities, Mayweather doesn't have a good relationship, to my knowledge, with De La Hoya at this point. Even when Mayweather and De La Hoya were working together for, like, let's say towards the end, like Mayweather versus Canelo, Mayweather at the press conference, who was fighting Canelo, he said, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, he ain't go-to boy. To me, Richard Schaefer, he the real go-to boy. He the one that pulled all the strings. I like Richard Schaefer. I don't like Golden Boy. I don't like Oscar, you know. So the 2 fought, Oscar and Floyd. They don't like each other. So what makes you believe that this fight will happen? The other issue outside of, you know, landscape of boxing stuff is Tank is now a multi-time champion, multi-division champion. If De La Hoya and Golden Boy are putting him in with someone that Tank beat 3 years ago, or, you know, in 2017 on Mayweather's McGregor card, Francisco Fonseca, who really believes that De La Hoya is going to go from Ryan Garcia and Fonseca, a guy that Tank destroyed and knocked out, all the way up the ladder to a serious explosive puncher, multi-division champion, guy who's beaten Pedraza, who later on went on to become champion again and fight Lomachenko, a guy who just knocked out an Olympic gold medal. It just don't sound realistic. And to me, it's not realistic, because so why would Ryan Garcia, why would Golden Boy not put Ryan Garcia in with at least like a former champion like Jose Pedraza or the likes of Jorge Linares? They rather put Linares on the undercard. So to me, that's how you're moving Garcia. That's what that stipulates. If you're not willing to put him in by now with a name like a Gamboa, a Linares, a Pedraza, a former champion at least, or a guy who's former accomplished, and he's fighting the likes of Fonseca, who again is not a big name. Tank knocked out, Tevin Farmer beat, and Tevin Farmer just lost his belt, then I really doubt they would step him all the way up to a Gervonta Tank Davis who's further along in his pro career. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't sound realistic one bit. So I think ultimately, before fans get all hype and excited and start promoting and saying this guy's ducking or who won't, you got to look at the parameters. And it just, to me, it sounds like using this kid's name, Tank Davis, because he's a factor and he's relevant, he's popping, he's in the news, and he's one of the big names and definitely up and comers that this new generation is messing with and knows to promote Ryan Garcia's fight on DAZN that they haven't really promoted. Like, it's crazy. Like when Tank fights, he actually gets promotion. Leonard Ellerby's everywhere. They do press conferences. Showtime does a good job promoting him. It's just you're hearing about it. But Ryan Garcia versus Fonseca, I literally haven't heard much from it. Look, this is Tank at the Ravens game. They're showing him on the Jumbotron at the Baltimore Ravens game, and they had a great season. They beat my Niners. So, like I said, people can get hyped, but where I'm at with my career in this boxing game is don't believe the hype. Unless these promoters start actually, like, I don't care about radio interviews or YouTube interviews unless I see some legs grow from these situations, because that's all it is right now. It's just a bunch of people talking, especially with DAZN. It's just, hey, Dillian White wants to fight Andy Ruiz. Dillian White wants to fight Wilder. Anthony Joshua wants Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua wants to fight Wilder. Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia wants to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney wants to fight Lomachenko. I'm not really with that. As soon as you start making the proper moves and people are sitting down at round tables, then talk about it. But people don't want to do that because we live in a clout chase era, and they know this is not going to happen. They know these fights are not happening. They're not moving the needle and getting anywhere close to these fights happening. It's just to make some headlines and, potentially put some pressure or what they feel is pressure on the competition, or, get the fans to jump in and say this guy's ducking and this guy's, but I'm not believing it. Like I said, don't believe the hype. Look, this man got OBJ, Odell Beckham, in his dressing room right back there. Y'all see that? The kid is a star. So he ain't even fighting. And like I predicted, his name is going to come up. This is what happens every single time. Every single time other people who have fights, they keep mentioning a lot of predominant PBC fighters. If Joshua fights Pulev, he's going to be talking about Wilder. If so-and-so fights in this division, they're going to be talking about Tank. They're going to be talking about Errol. It's like, it gets old after a while. It really does. So until De La Hoya actually shows me, like, his stable has dwindled down over the years, until he shows me some positive signs. See, again, how come De La Hoya doesn't first let Ryan Garcia beat Fonseca, or at least see how he looks? And that's another bad look for DAZN, in my opinion, because DAZN is the one that's doing this the most. Andre fighting Keeler, and they already talking about Charlo. Ryan Garcia talking about Tank, and or not necessarily Ryan Garcia. Well, he has too, but De La Hoya talking about Tank, and then you got a fight this weekend. So to me, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot, because you're saying the matches ain't worth a damn. So you're already looking past that person and clout chasing another person. So to me, that's not a good look for the matches that are being made, because if Errol Spence is fighting Sean Porter, he shouldn't be overly talking about Manny Pacquiao, because Sean Porter is a stout test. You know what I mean? A good fight is a good fight. I haven't really heard Wilder talking about Dillian White overly. If he's asked about it, he'll talk about it. But what I'm saying is, he's not just bringing up Dillian White, because his focus needs to be on Tyson Fury. And that's what happens. That's the mark of a good fight. Dillian White is not, of no consequence when you have to get past Tyson Fury. You shouldn't be worried about a mandatory. If you don't prepare right and lose to Tyson Fury, then you don't have a mandatory, because you won't have a belt. You see what I'm saying? He shouldn't be worried about Anthony Joshua. And that's what's happening. So it just keeps happening over and over again. I keep pointing out, and it keeps happening. Conveniently, this is what De La Hoya does. This is what DAZN does. De La Hoya had Canelo Triple G on HBO. Said he was running for president against Kanye West. I ain't heard about him running for president since. He said he's running for 2020 president. I ain't never heard that conversation come up again ever since he said that. You know? So to me, it's just one big clout chase. Ryan Garcia is fighting this week, so let's talk about Tank. And Tank, for whatever reason, seen it and liked it, and you know, and jumped in the middle of it, which gives them an opportunity to continue using his name and go back and forth and argue. I'm just done with the Twitter fingers. Like you know, we've seen Tank and Tevin Farmer go back and forth, have a couple run-ins in public and spats on Twitter, and I'm gonna break your neck and this and that. And for whatever reason, the fight never happened. Now Tevin Farmer lost his belt. So, you know, boxing is missing me in that category. I just want to see the fights. So I would prefer if De La Hoya or whoever or Eddie Hearn make some progress and actually get people to sign on the dotted line, and then let's start promoting and talking about it. But the game is topsy-turvy. It's upside down now. Everybody wants to talk about fights that they can't manifest or they're nowhere near making before, and then it don't happen. So we're all left with disappointment. That Mayweather-Pacquiao shit is over. I told y'all. New media, digital mob. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.